Welcome to this live video. I know that it's a bumper edition for you because myself and Tashreeq are sitting on the table together with a very important partnership, and that is that we felt that the time was right to head into strategic partnerships with other media and other Islamic media in the country, because I think that we serve a greater purpose together and that we can better serve our communities and people if we are united as media. And therefore today we sit with two agreements on the table which we'll sign later, which is a strategic partnership between Deen Channel and Radio 786, simply meaning that we will collaborate and coexist on various levels in the interest of our people. Tashreeq.
Yes, indeed. Shukran, Faizal, for inviting me to Deen Channel. It's a pleasure being here this morning. I think the time has come for us to work together at a much closer level. As you said, this is a strategic partnership, and that's what it is. It's not about some exclusivity agreement, that will benefit each other. It's a very straightforward agreement that speaks to how we can grow as Muslim broadcasters, and this is key to Radio 786 and my role in particular. To foster these relations, and so I believe with the footprint of Deen Channel, with your influence, we're able to grow and offset on each other's successes, and we learn from each other as well. So this is the purpose of today's get together, and I think it's the start of much more to come.
Indeed, I think that it's important also for me to state that I felt one thing, and that was when I went to go and meet with Tashreeq at his office. I felt that for a long time as media, you sit in your office thinking, why do we work in silos all the time? Because the very actions that we take daily impact the ideologies, philosophies, and eventually how people behave and perform in their daily lives. So you have an influence over that. But for a long time, I think that people get lots of scattered messages, and I think that if they pick up a disunified form in the people that they listen to every morning and watch at night on TV, then where do we leave them? Where do we leave them to make their decisions in their lives? And so I think it was a responsibility from our side to want to go that way, because our viewers and Radio 786 listeners and the broader community, they benefit from this, because just practically for your purpose, how do you benefit? It simply means that at times, if I'm covering a story, or any of the other shows that you find is covering a story, and that show needs further development and input, 786 or anyone shouldn't be sitting aside thinking, but Faizal's onto that. No, they should pick up on that story and develop that further, so that we have tangible outcomes, so we can work closely in the interest of the community. So I see things on that perspective, and we want to always invite the community to engage us from that perspective, noting that when you're dealing with Deen Channel or 786 or any other partner, that Islamic media must work for one purpose in this country, and that is to benefit the ends of our people. And it's as simple as that. I don't know if you want to just expand on those ideas.
That is so absolutely correct, because the unfortunate part that we've learned through our journey is that Muslims like to bicker and fight with each other.
We specialize in that.
And we tend to fight and take issue with those fellow Muslims that all of us, recite the Shahada, you take the Shahada, and you tend to fight over small issues with the next person, notwithstanding that we all have differences, and we should all own our own differences. But the unfortunate part about all of this is that Radio 786 has had many relationships with other broadcasters, other stakeholders. We get involved in setting up other community broadcasters. We get involved at legislative, platforms and so on. But we find that there's always been this very slow response from Muslim media to cooperate, because, and that's the terribly unfortunate part about all of this. And this is exactly what this partnership and this opportunity presents to us. It's that, as Muslim broadcasters, you can come together, share resources, share ideas, grow each other's brand, and speak to the same community that we serve. I mean, you generated quite the following and interest during the time when Muslim bodies were taking long, or there was a delay in releasing those Muslim bodies. And it's a story that 786 had also covered, and nothing stops us from working together to make the most noise on an issue like this, to ensure that authorities are listening, to ensure that we effect the type of change that's needed. Same thing with the Hajj and Umrah industry, that is, one would argue, in quite a shamble, that's going through a challenge. Imagine if Muslim media can speak on behalf of this Muslim community that has so much to say about this industry, that is so absolutely personal to them, that they come together in a concerted effort to try and find a solution to these issues, because nobody's going to come and solve it. I mean, we blow hot steam, we get into a meeting, everybody's upset, but that's where it ends. Our role is to continue to scrutinize, to look, to assess, to uncover, and this is the purpose of this agreement. And I think it's high time that something like this happen. And we hope that such a proposal or such a platform would grow, that other medias are able to come to the party. We could maybe soon start a Muslim Broadcasters Association. It's just the word that comes to mind at the moment. But
it's an idea. It's a great idea.
That we come together as a group of broadcasters, Muslim broadcasters, and we're not always going to speak with one voice. It's never going to happen. But that we grow together, we speak to each other, we look at how we can benefit, we can look at how we can strategically align, and that's the purpose of all of this. So Radio 786 is quite delighted this morning to be a part of this, and I think thanks and credit to you for calling us up, coming to meet with me at my office, and this is now the fruits of those conversations.
Thank you, Tashreeq. I just want to touch on one aspect which I think that you really brought up, which made me think about something, and that was when you used the word legislative issues. And that's another sector. For example, this agreement talks about advertising exchange. It talks about content partnerships in terms of, in the interest of the community, developing stories that will effect change through combined thrust and catalytic process. And it also talks about one other thing. There are times that as Muslim broadcasters we have challenges on a legislative level. The regulatory bodies could enforce changes, government could enforce changes. It might not be suitable for us as Muslim broadcasters. If Tashreeq and 786 and all the others and us, we all work in silos, it becomes difficult to get into those rooms with government, because we have preconceived ideas about each other, so we battle in that room to kill each other first before dealing with the issue. And I've been through that and I've seen it. Instead of trying to resolve those issues, they end up in a fight. And
an example of this, even beyond government, was when Radio 786 for 16 years cost us quite a bit of money, and thankfully with the help of donors and so on, went on its own fighting a legal battle, with a group that had essentially challenged a broadcast that we did, and our interest was purely based on asserting media freedom. It's a matter that went to the Constitutional Court in 2002. Alhamdulillah, we won. The matter dragged on, and we came out victorious. Nobody was silenced. Nobody was unable to broadcast something that may otherwise have been deemed sensitive. I sometimes push the boundaries for those that listen, to the morning drive time show.
I enjoy that. It's probably one of the. I told him earlier on I listen to classical music, but there are times that it's, since I've been on the show, that I would tune in because I didn't realize that there was someone that was willing to push those boundaries too. Needs to happen.
But this is the point, it's the fact that we're able to do our jobs, we're able to hold people accountable, that we don't personalize things, that we grow as a community and as a sector, we seek the answers that we're looking for, and the fact that, I know you're accustomed to doing live videos and speaking to communities. The fact that I'm sitting here, we're talking about this, we'll have something on the radio as well, is that this is about transparency. There's no secret deal. Nobody was captured in all of this. This is about an open, transparent process, and certainly, again, from legislative to fields of economy to fields of broadcasting, skills transfer. all of those things.
That's another thing.
This
Skills transfer.
yes.
We need to cross-pollinate the skills in the media fraternity with our people.
No, that's true, which is why we, for instance, we run a training program for people that do not even have a background in broadcasting, but are maybe even interested in it. So they get the feel for it, they'll see if it's for them or not. But the point is, we can't, as you say, live in those silos. These are community broadcasters, communities which have access to them. It can't be that you go on and communities think that they're just there to listen to the radio. It's their radio. They're part of the radio. They're part of this channel. And so this opportunity that now exists is bringing sections of the community together. And yeah, we could go on for hours talking. But
one other thing I want to share with Tashreeq is I noticed when I went onto his show that he's pushing those boundaries, if you want to call it that. Some people might not see it as that, they have other terms for it, but you can share my bodyguards too. You're going to meet them soon when people start recognizing that face of yours. Because I know you can, on radio it's strategic, you can slip out in the morning, having said and attacked as much as you wish, and then you walk around. But on television it gets a bit tricky. But as we go along, and we're going to be inviting you more, and perhaps you never know, you could just be doing another show on Deen channel. You're going to have to share those bodyguards too.
Oh gosh, I think I sometimes surrounded by bodyguards that are beating up politicians, and that's enough for me. So.
Correct, I saw that picture recently. Yes, but I think we can proceed to sign our agreement if that's what we want to do. So I will just sign on my line on both your agreements. You will notice that my signature changes slightly for every agreement. So
I think that's a problem with signatures. It never stays the same.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, it's almost there. Yeah. So I recall going into a bank one day. They were like really refuting my signature. But be that as it may, they should use other metrics. So Tashreeq, we thank you. We look forward to a long-standing partnership with 786, and we hope that we act in the interest of our community in a responsible manner, because they are the people that we serve.
Yes. And again, this is the start of many new things. These things are not always mutually exclusive, and from the many things we said, I think what we take from this purely is the fact that we're able to work together, reach out, and grow together, and that's the purpose of all of this.
And be that catalyst for change. Thank you for joining us.